So, a lot of people that I've talked to seem to believe that you can't turn water into a usable fuel. And the reality of the fact is that we've been doing this for hundreds of years. People have been doing hydrolysis for many, many years, and it's the simple separation of H2O, which is hydrogen. You get two hydrogens per oxygen. The hydrogens are the little tiny molecules that drift around the outside of a big oxygen molecule. Anyway, so there's two hydrogens for every oxygen. So what? Well, whenever you take that, what you realize is that you're getting both oxygen and hydrogen. So there's vehicles that could potentially just run off of hydrogen, and you could use hydrolysis or hydrolysis machine at your house to refill your hydrogen. So you wouldn't potentially need a gas station anymore, and that really makes the gas stations and the oil companies very afraid, because it would basically go straight your gas bill would go straight to your electric company, and electric companies, which are energy companies, have a divergent sort of they're a divergent economy from the oil and gas companies. So even though a lot of coal companies and natural gas companies are getting into electricity for the grid production, there are a lot of singular companies out there that are much smaller and much more capable of change than these big, very heavy, top-heavy companies. So, you can actually. There's a hookup that you can put into your vehicle that basically turns your vehicle into a hybrid vehicle, a hydrogen gasoline powered vehicle. So what you're doing is you're making hydrogen with a hydrolysis, some sort of thing that does hydrolysis, which is the interaction of electricity with water and an electrolyte, which creates hydrogen from electricity. So it's not actually energy generation, it's energy storage. So you're storing your excess electricity from your car's alternator as a fuel for later consumption, which doesn't make sense to a lot of people. They think, my car makes electricity from the alternator and it goes into the battery already, so what? Well, you don't generally get any sort of motive force from that battery. I mean, there's a little bit, but not really. You don't. There's cars aren't. All cars on the road. There's no car on the road. The cars on the road right now that are just plain fossil fuels have a hard time being upgraded into electric gasoline hybrids, but they don't have a hard time being upgraded into hydrogen gasoline hybrids. And hydrogen actually provides several other benefits that I've heard of online, such as I believe that it provides a benefit of cleaning your piston chambers and some other things. So talk to your mechanic and see if they've heard of this, and maybe they can install it and give you some better gas mileage, because you'll be burning hydrogen in your vehicle. So effectively, your vehicle will be a hybrid. Any vehicle on the road today can be converted into a hybrid. Yes, that is possible. So these would be essentially turning your vehicle into a gasoline electric hydrogen hybrid, because you're taking your excess electricity and storing it as hydrogen and then burning it in your engine. And it's technically very safe, because hydrogen once it gets out of any sort of crevice, it goes up at more than 45 miles an hour at some points. So the idea that you could have a potential explosion in your vehicle is very low. The potential for explosions is very low, because there's minimal amounts of hydrogen being produced. I was a little bit wrong on that. You don't store the hydrogen usually. It's burned immediately. So as soon as the alternator produces it, it's burned on demand. So it's on demand hydrogen production for any gasoline vehicle that's out there. So and currently, some big companies aren't hyping this because they don't believe that it works. Some companies aren't hyping this because they don't want it to work, and some people are just ignorant of the fact that you can convert almost every vehicle on the market into a hydrogen-producing vehicle. Some of the newer vehicles are actually harder, because they have microchips that have O2 sensors hooked up to them, and those O2 sensors will give false readings and actually provide poorer gas mileage if you don't rig them up properly. So there's different sensors that need to be installed. Also, another thing is vehicles that are fairly old, before the 80s or 90s. Those vehicles are actually easier to upgrade to this hydrogen vehicle because they don't have those O2 sensors. So if you want an electric hydrogen gas hybrid vehicle, go out and get one today.